Take a look at that photography, huh? Spring training at its finest, the sunshine and the clouds, a couple of old friends getting together as we take you just a week out from opening day. Mets and the Tigers this afternoon. It is hot here in Port St. Lucie, but the Mets looking to get hot as get ready for opening day at Citi Field. And it is windy, too. Gusts up to 28 miles an hour today here at Tradition Field. Pix 11 Sports presents Spring Training Baseball. It's the Mets playing host to the Tigers this afternoon. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Keith Hernandez, my partner, will join me in just a moment. So the Mets take on the Tigers today, and Matt Harvey will get the start. That's exciting in its own right. But maybe for once, the Mets actually getting some more positive news on the injury front today, because David Wright took a big step forward after consulting with Terry Collins and head trainer Ray Ramirez. He was clear to do this. Take batting practice for the first time since injuring that rib muscle, that intercostal muscle. He took a full round of batting practice, a full round of infield practice, and it's a step forward for David Wright possibly being ready on opening day for the Mets.
The last few days, it's been good to obviously get some ground balls, swing, for a couple different reasons. One, because it kind of mentally it's somewhat of a hurdle to get over, not knowing how you're going to feel when you swing. But then also it gets me one step closer to opening day, and I get some work in and some reps, and some much needed work, because like I said, I've had a little over a week off now.
All right, so good news for David Wright. And asked about opening day, he said, I'm as optimistic as I was last week. We bring in Keith, and Keith, obviously a good step for David, but what exactly does this mean in his recovery?
Well, every injury is different. Remember, the second baseman, Daniel Murphy, has the same type of injury and tweaked it and is now not going to make opening day. So you don't want that to happen to David. David is so critical to this lineup, but it's a step forward. You want to take it slow. You still got, 8 days to spring training. He's going to need to start getting some at-bats, and the Mets do need him in that lineup.
All right, meanwhile for the Mets today, playing a split squad, so half the squad's in Jupiter, the other half for Terry Collins is here. And a couple guys who, may not make the opening day roster, but are certainly key in the Mets' future. A couple of outfielders, Matt Dendecker and Kirk Neuenhuis. Similar in a lot of ways, Keith. They'll be on display today.
Well, this is what spring training is all about, giving these young guys a look. It's unfortunate for Neuenhuis that he bruised his knee and missed a lot of time. He had a chance to make the ball club. I think he'll probably wind up in Las Vegas. For Dendecker, who struggled in AAA last year, did well in AA, but got called up and struggled. He's young. He's got a lot of talent. He needs more seasoning, but they're getting a look in the big league level.
On the mound for the Mets, getting his final real tune-up for the season. The next one will be a little bit toned down. Matt Harvey, and just like the 10 starts we saw last year at the end of the regular season, he's been phenomenal this spring.
He's pitched well. He's 1-0, an ERA below 3, 24 strikeouts and 18 2/3 innings. So the strikeouts are there. He's facing a team now. We're at 8 days from opening day. The Tigers brought their A team. They got the two big bats, Fielder and Cabrera, hitting 3 and 4 in that lineup.
It'll be a test for Harvey. As a matter of fact, besides the two big bats, the Tigers have their opening day starting lineup here. So it should be a good game this afternoon. Maybe the Seagulls are hanging around to watch as well. Mets and Tigers coming up next.
Lexus
York Mets baseball is brought to you by your Tri-State Cadillac dealer. Visit CadillacTristate.com to learn more. By Geico, 15 minutes to save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Chevrolet, find new roads. And by Verizon, switch to Files for America's most reliable internet. Also by Honda. Hurry into your Tri-State Honda dealer for great deals on the 2013 models. Subscribe to MLB.TV Premium today. Watch over 150 select spring training games live. Plus, every regular season game live or on demand on over 250 mobile and connected devices. Visit Mets.com for all the details. Take a look at Who's Hot, brought to you by Audi. Truth in Engineering. A few of the Mets who are on the trip on the split squad today. Anthony Recker, Travis d'Arnaud, the couple of catchers. We saw d'Arnaud with the big RBI single late in the game yesterday. And Jordany Valdespin, who has put himself in position to make this team, is also red hot. He again on the squad going to Jupiter. Meanwhile, we told you about David Wright at the start of this game, who took BP, a full session of it today. Step forward for Daniel Murphy, you hope, playing in a minor league game today, getting back on the field. He took BP too, playing in this minor league game on field 7 right behind us. If he gets through this okay, maybe Murphy has a slight chance for opening day, but we'll see how it turns out. For now, we've got a good game on tap this afternoon in the hot weather. It's the Mets, it's the Tigers. We've got the first pitch with Harvey on the mound next. New York Mets baseball brought to you by the Toyota #1 sales event going on now. Toyota, let's go places. Well, on the field, this is Clarence Cath, who is a regular here at Port St. Lucie. He's been parking cars for an awful long time, and he ate the first ever hot dog at Thomas J. White Stadium back in 1988 versus the Dodgers. I don't know what kind of significance that is, but the bottom line is he's been synonymous with the Mets, and he gets to throw out the first pitch today. Throwing out the first pitch of the ball game, though, is that man, Matt Harvey, as we take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Volkswagen Springtoberfest event. And the Tigers have their entire starting team here today, which is impressive for a drive that's 2.5 hours. Don't normally see it, but as you get closer to opening day, you see it. And that middle of the order is the best in baseball, I think. It's certainly right up there with Cabrera and Fielder and Victor Martinez just loaded. So this will be a really good test key for Matt Harvey going against this type of offensive firepower.
I agree 100%. The 2, 3, 4 hitters for this ball club have 74 home runs between them last year. They just ripped the ball up. Of course, Cabrera was the Triple Crown winner. And we'll take a look at the Honda Metropolitan defense. And Hicks has been getting a big look all over short, third, second. He's looking for someone that fighting for that backup infield position, middle infield position.
So here is Harvey facing Austin Jackson, and we're underway with strike one. Matt Harvey has had a terrific spring, as Keith alluded to on the open, just solidifying what the Mets certainly hope is a continuation of the 10-game audition he did at the end of second half of last season. Comes in and almost gets Austin Jackson with a second pitch.
No, that's nothing wrong with that. I like that pitch inside. One good thing about Harvey so far, if you look at his spring stats, in 18 1/3 innings, he's only given up 4 walks. So he's been throwing strikes, but that was an issue with him last year. They were a little bit concerned, but not this spring.
And there's a strike for Harvey.
He pounds the strike zone. He pounds it with the fastball. He's been pitching aggressively in. This is his 6th start, Kev.
1-2 to Jackson, and he gets him.
That's quick work. All about pitching inside, establishing in. That opens that whole outside part of the plate. There's my breaking ball. Go sit down.
You know, Keith, the fascinating thing about Harvey, as Torrey Hunter will be the batter, good veteran offseason move by the Tigers. You know, when you talk to people and you talk to scouts and heard about him in the minor leagues, and you know, everybody liked what they saw, no question about it. But you know, there was talk about, yeah, it looks like maybe he could be a number 3 guy, throws hard, that type of thing. Since he came up to the major leagues, he's thrown harder than everyone else said he threw in the minor leagues. His stuff is, taking it to another level where, forget number 3, Harvey's got the type of stuff to be an ace if he puts it together.
Well, he's going to have his opportunity. He is definitely in the rotation. I like his attitude. He's a big, strong kid. He's got 3 outstanding pitches, and I like the fact that he pitches inside. And we got away from that during that steroid era. Pitchers were afraid to throw in. And I also think a lot of pitchers that came up through high school and college, when they had the aluminum bats, they were afraid to throw inside. You can't break aluminum bats. The wood you can break. And Harvey is, I think the new mold now, where pitching is starting to come back. And there's his numbers last season.
Look at the strikeouts per 9 innings. I mean, that is a pretty epic rate. 10.5 strikeouts per 9, and Torrey Hunter down on the fastball. 2 up, 2 whiffed by Matt Harvey.
That was just a fastball that kind of ran. It might have been a cutter. Boy, nice start. And here is the Triple Crown winner from last year, Miguel Cabrera. I just love this man's swing. When he came up with the Marlins, I just felt that he had a chance to be a great one. And he certainly has fulfilled that promise.
You said it, from the moment he came up. You called it. You loved what you saw.
I loved his swing. He goes the other way naturally. He's big and strong. Weight is a problem with him, but he looks in pretty good shape this year. He was in good shape last year.
No disrespect to Albert Pujols, but Miguel Cabrera is probably the best hitter in the game right now.
Well, yeah. Well, Pujols was the best hitter for quite some time. He's getting on in age a little bit. But Cabrera is just coming into his prime. He's some kind of player.
Just want to finish the thought on the Harvey. 10.6 strikeouts per 9 innings. Only 13 rookies since 1970 have achieved a number over 10. Only Met was the doctor. And that just kind of shows you what he was able to do. 11 strikeouts in that awesome debut in Arizona. And he's got 2-1 to Miguel Cabrera here.
Good slider. He's locating well. I like the fact that he kind of pushed him off the plate a little bit too. That's a good spot right there for that slider. Got a big strong wind blowing out to right field today. You get it in the air to right, it is going to get out of town real quick.
2-2 to Cabrera. And he gets him. Matt Harvey strikes out the side. How's that for a little chitter? What an inning for Harvey to start against this Tigers starting squad. He strikes out Austin Jackson. Use the slider there. It comes back with the cheese against Torrey Hunter, and then the heat gets Cabrera. A nice start for Harvey and the Mets.
Your van.
What a start for Matt Harvey. He strikes out the side in order for the Tigers, who brought their starting squad. Meanwhile, minor league camp, this was during the break. Daniel Murphy playing in the minor league game, getting a major league base hit. So big day for Wright, taking full batting practice today. And if Murphy gets through that game all right, who knows? Maybe the both of them can be there on opening day. All right, check out the Mets starting lineup, brought to you by the Volkswagen Springtoberfest event. Split squad today, so half the squad's in Jupiter. We told you about Neuenhuis and Den Decker in the lineup for the Mets. Also Ike Davis, who's had a real good spring. John Buck doing the catching today. And Neuenhuis leads this one off against Doug Fister, the Tiger starter, who's had a rough go of it this spring.
Well, Fister was 10-10 last year in 26 starts. Had 2 complete games, 1 shutout, but you can see his numbers this spring. He's been getting lit up. And he's a guy who doesn't walk a lot of people. The 8 walks in 14 innings, that's not good. He only walked in 162 2/3 last year. He only walked 37 batters.
Well, now's the time if Fister to get it going as we approach just 8 days away from opening day. I guess technically it's 7 days because there's a game on Sunday night next week. But the Mets open their season next Monday as Turner will hit second for the Mets today.
Remember the days when Cincinnati traditionally had the opening day?
That's how it should be. The parade in Cincy.
Yep.
Keep that going. Meanwhile, Neuenhuis draws a leadoff walk against Fister.
And we'll take a look at the Honda Detroit Tiger defense. You see Torrey Hunter out in right field. That's a big pickup from the Angels in the offseason. Really going to help their offense that's already pretty potent. You see, of course, the 2 corner infielders. Where are you going to find 2 better corner infielders offensively than Prince Fielder and Miguel Cabrera?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You know, and Keith, what about Cabrera? Certainly his offense is parallel to none, but second to none. But, you know, for him, with the signing of fielders, Turner lays down a bunt. He'll test Cabrera at third. And Cabrera makes a nice play.
Wow. That is a big league play right there. And Cabrera, not known for his glove, really, he's over at third base because Prince Fielder is the first baseman they picked up. Obviously, this is Prince Fielder's second season with the Tigers. Came over from Milwaukee. And he just barely got him.
But Keith, how about that? You know, because Cabrera, to be at in his career where he was as an established great player, to say, yeah, I'll go play third base.
Well, you always want to improve your ball club. They got to the World Series, and you get a guy like Prince Fielder. Where else are you going to play him unless you're going to DH him?
Right.
You know, they didn't have Victor Martinez last year, but he's back this year, so that's going to be their DH.
And, you know, the word on Cabrera, for those who watch the Tigers every day, is that he made all those plays. You know, the range maybe not where some was, but all the plays that he could get to, he made. And when you're putting out that kind of offensive production, that's plenty. Fielder bobbles, but he'll recover, and that'll move Neuenhuis to third with 2 down.
That ball took kind of a funky hop. Kind of bounced to the left. You see right there, and kind of fooled fielder, but he made the play. As he one hand, that's what happens. You got to be careful.
I'll tell you, if you pop the ball up to shallow outfield, it might go out here today. Right.
Well, right field. I mean, that
look at the flags.
It's just brutal. Maybe we can show the folks at home it's really whipping.
Marlon Byrd's gone the other way quite a bit this year, and if he can do that,
hello,
that is crazy.
It's good sailing weather. Let's go. Yeah, it's whipping today. It's more so than yesterday, and it was blowing yesterday. It is really, that's a westerly breeze.
Look at Dan Barr obliging us with the wind shots. Our director today.
He wanted to show the batter first.
Well, you know, I may have jumped the gun a bit. I was just.
I jumped.
It's pretty windy. I mean,
we should stay out of production. We should stay out of production.
It doesn't end well when we try to get into that part, does it?
Well, Marlon Byrd's had himself a very nice spring. He's really gone the other way nicely all spring. He's earned himself a right field starting spot opening day with the spring that he's had.
1-2 to Bird. The Mets look to take an early lead, and he lays off. It's 2-2 against Doug Fister. Kirk Neuenhuis with a leadoff walk, advancing on down to third.
Well, if Murphy can, you know, one thing about Murph's injury, it was a rib, and he can run, stay in shape. So when you have leg injuries and you can't run and you get out of shape, but Murph's been able to keep himself ready. So just a matter of him getting at bats. You know, and Valdespin's had a terrific spring. He's leading tied for the league lead. I'm sorry, the team lead in home runs.
And Bird goes down on the breaking ball. Avila will throw down to first to complete the play. So the Mets have a leadoff walk, but they strand Neuenhuis on third. No score after 1. Minor league camp going on. You see Tradition Field in the back of your screen there. So this is Field 7. This is a game that Daniel Murphy is playing in right now. Murphy, we showed, had a single earlier. Keith, and you know, talking about Murphy a little bit, we'll be hypotheticals for a second. Let's just say he gets through this game and he feels okay. Then he's able to do it again tomorrow. If he goes a week and just has minor league at bats, and I'm sure the Mets would do that because if there's a DL situation, they could backdate it. Is that enough to get ready for the season? Does it matter who the at-bats are against? Can you get 5-6 minor league at-bats for a week and that'll get you ready? Is that?
Well, my feeling is I guess they want to be safe to get Turner some playing time. But if Murph's paying free, I'd get him out here on a big league level. Let him. What's the difference? It's live pitching.
You know what? That's true.
I'd bring him over here and let him play in the A games. Then Turner can replace him, or Turner can go play over in a minor league game. You want to get your infielders familiar with each other again. Murph's been out, and you want Ike and him to get more comfortable with each other, and play alongside each other. And lo and behold, we got a double play. I blink here, Murph routine. So
all right,
it would be big if Murph can start the opening day. I really would like Murph to hit third in our lineup, actually, to be honest with you.
You brought that up last time we were here as Fielder hits a rocket, and the Tigers have their first base runner. Boy, how about Prince Fielder down the line there? That's pretty impressive. Prince was flying down the line. Talk about, he's smiling now, but you talk about your veteran setting the pace. How about this?
The hits don't count down here.
I mean, look at that, Keith.
But you don't want to be embarrassed. You never want to get thrown out at first. I guess he felt he hit it so hard. He didn't even take the turn, did he?
No. He was sprinting, man. That was a good job by Prince to make sure that nothing crazy happened out there. He's got a base hit off Harvey. First contact off Harvey after he struck out the side in the first. And now it's a switch hitting DH, Victor Martinez. 34 years old, coming back from microfracture surgery, which cost him 2012. And boy, I'll tell you one thing. This Tigers lineup is loaded. And Keith, you pointed out they didn't have Victor Martinez last year because of the injury, so they signed Fielder. But now with Cabrera, Fielder, and Martinez, who's, by the way, a .303 lifetime hitter, that is as good as it gets.
Now, Martinez is 34 years of age, so he's got years left, and particularly with the American League where you can DH and not have the wear and tear of playing out in the field every day, just getting up, coming to the ballpark and hitting 4 times.
You see how Harvey responds working from the stretch for the first time. He's got 2-0 to Victor Martinez.
Victor taking his time getting back in the box, trying to break up the rhythm of Harvey.
Martinez is on this one. Then Decker racing backwards, leaping. He made another great catch. You just can't get anything by Matt Dendecker in center.
Well, they can certainly go get him here, and he had to jump a little bit in the end. It's a very nice play. It's all about getting to the ball. And the ball's going to carry to right center field, and he just done everything right out there. This young man can hit. That solves a lot of problems for center field for the New York Mets for the years to come.
Boy, getting to see him, he's played almost every game on our air this year in this spring because of the injury to Neuenhuis and other things. And getting to see him as Andy Dirks takes a ball, you just see he gets great jumps. He obviously can fly. It's fun to watch.
He doesn't look like he's that big, but he's taller than me. I walked by him in the clubhouse today. He's around 6'2".
Yeah, he's bigger than you think.
He's a big kid.
He's done that all spring. I mean, there's no doubt about his defense. He has been great. He's just trying to get that bat to catch up, and he'll be here. Meanwhile, 1-1 to Andy Dirks. He'll be the starting left fielder for the Tigers this year. Tigers are still looking for a kind of right-handed complement to Dirks. He's going to be the starter, but not only necessarily sitting him against the tough lefties, but also giving him days here and there. He's never played a full season. So they're still trying to sort that out after they lost Delman Young to the Phillies in the offseason.
Well, they've got a lot of right-hand hitters in this lineup, so this gives them another lefty in there. And Dirks last year in 314 at-bats. Hit .322 for this ball club. Pretty impressive. 18 doubles, 5 triples, 8 home runs. A lot of extra base hits. Good breaking ball. That is a lock you up. Oh, my goodness.
And lock Dirks up. 4th strikeout already for Harvey.
That is down a break. Look at this. Oh, that's beautiful. Tough pitch to lay off.
So Harvey with a little defensive help, and then the big slider to get Dirks. Now faces Johnny Peralta, the starting shortstop for the Tigers. A 30-year-old. Coming off a little bit of a down year for him. Peralta hit .239 with 13 home runs last year. His career has been a little better than that. In fact, 2011 he had .299, 21 home runs, 86 RBI. So he has potential to be a big offensive player.
Well, with the 2 corner infielders defensively for the Tigers, it's very important that they're strong defensively up the middle when they're middle infielders. So they got Omar Infante, who they acquired, who's in the lineup today, acquired from the Marlins last year to play second base for them, and Peralta at short. And with the 2 corner guys, you got to have some defense up the middle.
Turner gets to it. Can't make the short hop. Turner almost made a real nice play. Give a base hit to Peralta.
Now, I know this ball's up the middle, but someone, it's right up the middle. Someone has got to cover second base.
Whose responsibility?
Well, I don't think Kenya had a shot. Now, your first initial reaction is going to be to break for the ball, but in your vision, you can see Turner's going to get there. Then you got to break to the bag. You got to realize you got the slow runner at first base in fielder, even though you still would have had the out at first if Ike scooped it. But a force out would have been in order.
Here's a talented young catcher, Alex Avila, for the Tigers. See, he's had a good spring at 311. Had a few hits yesterday in the Tigers' 10-6 win over the Yankees. So Torrey Hunter in that game went up over the wall and robbed Kevin Youkilis of a home run. He's only done that about 1 million times in his career.
It's been an interesting spring. You got the Royals are 20-6 this spring. That's leading all the majors. They're having a great spring. Seattle's having a good spring, and Cleveland.
All of those teams, you know, people feel, Keith, that they're going to be the up-and-comers, can really be players this year.
I'd be curious to see what happens to the Indians. I know they're not there yet, but they got Terry Francona taking over there as manager. I'm going to follow them with interest.
Well, they're busy this offseason. I mean, they really were. I mean, they go out and get Nick Swisher. They go out and get Michael Bourne. They've got some talented players with Carlos Santana, the catcher, and Asdrubal Cabrera, who can hit with anybody at shortstop. Don't know if they have the horses on the mound right yet, but there you see the standings from last year.
Well, the Twins are going to be in trouble again this year. The Royals are the team to watch there. I think the Royals and the Indians could be a sleeper. I'm not so confident about Cleveland, but the Royals are a team to watch. They're young and up and coming.
2-1 to Avila. Fastball misses now. 3-1. Harvey in danger of loading the bases with 2 down here in the second. Mets will go to Minnesota on their first road trip of the year. Philly, Minnesota, and Colorado, the first road trip. Space heaters on sale now. And it's ball 4. So Harvey missed with a fastball at 97 upstairs. His first walk, and now the Tigers have the bases loaded for Infante.
Now batting number 4, second baseman.
Well, Infante, remember, was originally on the Braves there with Martin Prado, and Prado was traded from the Braves in the offseason to Arizona. And they were both similar type of players. They're smart players. They hit and run well. They take pitches. Good defenders. Good journeyman players.
And you hit the great point about their middle defense. That was always the question. Do they have enough there, especially with maybe some range giving on the corners, to turn those double plays? Fonte helps, but it also helps that the Tigers strike everybody out. I mean, you got Verlander and Scherzer at the top of the rotation. There's not a lot of balls that are in play, period. And it's 2-0 now to Infante, and Buck will have a little meeting with Harvey.
So the men on base, Harvey kind of getting away from his fastball. He threw a 2-1 changeup, which is his third pitch to Peralta. I'm sorry, Avila, the last batter, and wound up walking him on the 3-1 fastball. Those are pretty good. I'll take 227 when you're behind the count 2-0.
Yeah.
So we'll see which way it shakes. Came after him with the fastball.
Some trade for Dave Dombrowski to get Omar Infante and Anibal Sanchez from the Marlins. For Rob Brantley, who's going to be the Marlins starting catcher. Looks like he could really hit. Jacob Turner, right-handed pitchers, had big struggles this spring, but that was just a good move to a veteran team. 2-1 to Infante. Bases loaded for the Tigers here in the second.
Oh boy, curveball. So there you go. Now he's got to come with some cheddar. That 2-1 pitch is critical. If you can throw a breaking ball, secondary pitch behind the count with men on base like this, great, you're going to win. But if you miss, now you're 3-1. It's a hitter's count right now.
And Harvey has lost his touch a little. He walks in the first run of the game. Tigers lead at 1-0, and back-to-back walks against Harvey.
You know, it's early in the game. Nothing ball game. I think he got away from his fastball here. A lot of off-speed, a couple off-speed changeups, and curveballs, sliders that he missed. You know, it's early in the game. If you get the base hit, it's 1-0. So what? It's the second inning. You don't want to give a gift run. Back-to-back walks, not good.
And this inning could have been worse if Den Decker didn't make that great catch in center. So now Harvey just trying to keep it at 1-0. Two down, back to the top of the order. Sorry,
that's okay. And this is what Harvey's so intense out there. He's probably unhappy with himself. He's got to. That comes with experience, to let go and that turn the page, as Jim Cott used to say to me. That batter's over with. Get this fresh batter here. You got the bases loaded. Stop the bleeding. It's all part of maturation. But he is such an intense individual on the mound that, you know, that I've known a lot of guys that completely changed with experience. They were hot-headed and hot-tempered, whether they're pitchers, everyday players, and became very calm. And that comes with playing every day, pitching every fifth day.
Oh, he's got 1 and 2 now to Jackson.
He's a little up this inning with his pitches.
Is that from going into the stretch?
Possibility.
Fielder led off with a single.
I'm not worried about him. You know, every start is different. You know, sometimes you have it together. Sometimes you don't pitch well early out of the stretch. Sometimes you do. I'm not concerned with him. It was a hanger right there he got away with. Oh boy, you don't want to do that. That's belt high, right out over the plate. And put a world of hurt on you most times.
Harvey trying to get out of the jam at 1 and 2 to Austin Jackson.
Good pitch. Well, he wanted it away and he missed inside. strike to
I
me.
was say that was good. Buck set up outside, didn't get there. Now it's 2-2 to Jackson. But a terrific bounce back year. He had 249 in 2011. Jackson had 300 last year. Raised his average 51 points. That's no joke. Buck nearly tripped over his helmet. I'm telling you, when that was fouled back, it looked like he was going over the roof of the stadium, but the wind blew it right back in, and Harvey limits the damage to only 1 run. He got some help, too. Matt Dendecker, we've seen this a million times with a great catch in center. 1.5 Fear Tradition Field in the books, 1-0 Tigers. Split squad today for the Mets, and you see the second half of their team is in Jupiter, trailing the Cardinals 2-0 in the third. Aaron Laffey is getting the start in that game. Mets, he was initially in the lefty reliever category, but the Mets stretching him out because he'll be a starter in AAA. He's just have some insurance with the injury to Santana. So Laffey getting the start. John Jay with the RBI. Bottom 2 for the Mets, who trail the Tigers 1-0. And John Buck leads it off. So interesting, right? Harvey starts off the first inning, strikes out the side, and then got his pitches a little up in the second inning, got a couple walks, but he does limit the damage to only a run as he got Austin Jackson to pop up. John Buck, a couple of home runs, 7 RBIs so far this spring for New York. Andrew Brown on deck. We talked about Dave Dombrowski, the GM for the Tigers, making the moves that he has made. Well, getting Doug Fister was a darn good move as well. Tigers traded with the Mariners back in July of 2011 to get Fister, and after the trade, Fister went 8-1 with a 1.79 ERA. And he's been good in the playoffs. That year when they got him, he was Game 5 of the ALDS against the Yankees. Huge reason why they won that series. He started at Yankee Stadium, went 5 innings, allowed a run, and struck out 4. Dealt with a rib injury last year, which cost him some time. And as Keith said, 10-10 with a 3.45 ERA. He's a guy that he's on. He doesn't walk people. He's a big guy. He's got that delivery coming from the top of his 6'8" frame. This Tigers pitching staff is great at the top and good throughout, with Verlander, Scherzer, Anibal Sanchez, Fister, and then either Porcello or Drew Smiley for the 5th spot. Tigers keep being rumored and trading Porcello. And John Buck draws a leadoff walk. So Pfister doesn't usually walk anybody. It's his second walk of the game. And that'll bring up Andrew Brown, 28-year-old outfielder, former Nebraska Cornhusker, and last year played with the Rockies. Had 112 at-bats in Colorado and hit 5 home runs in that time. So the Mets brought him in here for that power potential. It looks as if Brown will be ticketed for AAA Las Vegas.
You know, you're talking about the trade for Pfister.
Mm-hmm.
They made a terrific trade with the three-way trade for Scherzer. They got Scherzer from Arizona. Granderson went to the Yankees. Austin Jackson came over in that deal. That's your starting center fielder and a 17-game winner right there.
It's putting together a team, huh?
Yes, it is.
You know, it's drafting, it's making the trades, and it's deciding when to dole out the big contracts. You know, Keith, when you think of this Tigers team, I mean, how many teams in Major League Baseball can you make the argument? Look, is anybody worth $200 million? I don't know that, but how can you make with any other team, when you look at the Tigers, the big money that they've spent on their big stars, Verlander and Cabrera and Prince Fielder? Boy, I mean, I know Prince Fielder was just signed last year, but man, that seems money well spent, right? I mean, it's a big part of this.
Well, they were American League champs. They only won 88 games last year. They didn't win 90 ball games. They got a great second half. They really struggled in the first half.
Came on late,
and the White Sox really faltered in September, didn't they? That was first year for Robin Ventura. He did a terrific job for the White Sox. If they won the division, I got to believe Robin would have got the manager of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
hands down.
A guy that didn't have any managerial experience did a terrific job taking over, but the Sox ran out of gas. 1-2 to Brown. Breaking ball gets him. The Doug Pfister goes to the curve, gets Brown for his second strikeout.
Number 3, shortstop Omar.
That'll bring up Omar Quintanilla, former University of Texas star, back with the Mets after signing with them last year and then traded away to the Orioles in that stretch run. Coming back, and Quintanilla looks like he's going to be on this team. He's at .237 with 3 doubles this spring.
Well, again, Quintanilla can play all middle infield positions. Accomplished shortstop.
He did a good job when the Mets picked him up last year. Played the position well. A couple big hits. It's important to have, too, a natural shortstop should something happen to Tejada. I mean, that's also a factor why he's got such a good chance, because the Mets don't have another one of those. Obviously, they had Ronnie Cedeno last year. Cedeno, by the way, was released by the Cardinals, just signed on with the Astros, so he's got another home. As it's 3-0 to Quintanilla with Buck on first. So Pfister having a little bit of control issues here. The Mets have other players that can play shortstop, like Turner or Valdespin if they had to, but those aren't their natural positions, and they give up some range with that. And 4-pitch walk to Quintanilla. So a couple of walks from Doug Pfister, and the Mets have something going in the second. Guarantee access to 2013 MLB All-Star ticket strips by becoming a Met ticket plan holder today. 2013 MLB All-Star Game coming to Citi Field this July. Call 718-507-TIXX or visit Mets.com/All-Star now.
Well, Pfister really having problems this spring with his control. This is his 11th walk and 16 innings pitched.
That's really not like him. And I guess there's another one that gets by Avila. Runners will advance. Wild pitch. Buck being alert, the lead runner, and the Mets have second and third. Especially Keith, when you get to this point, you're getting down to opening day now. I want to tighten it up if you're Pfister.
Not a good job by Avila right there, backhanding that. There should be a roll for bad fundies with a catcher. You know, the ball's in the dirt. It should be a pass ball.
Brandon Hicks, former Braves third-round pick back in 2007 out of Texas A&M, trying to get the Mets to lead. It's 1-0 Tigers here in the bottom of the second inning. Hicks is a guy the Mets got from the A's for cash. Bring him over here in this infield competition. Got him for his power. He had 3 home runs and 64 at-bats with the A's. He had also had 18 home runs in the A's minor leagues last year. And here he's a strikeout victim. So Pfister comes back and gets Hicks. That's his 3rd strikeout of the game, and there's 2 away.
Fastball. Borderline knees, 2 strikes, too close to take.
Well, the open of the show, we talked about Kirk Neuenhuis and Matt Dendecker, guys who could be a big part of this Mets future, who've showed some great things. We already have another great catch by Dendecker in center today, but here's a good opportunity for the Mets center field today with 2 down and 2 on. And he takes strike 1.
Well, he's a big, strong kid, and it's got a world of potential. Can run, he can field, and it's just a matter of can he hit. Pretty good breaking ball right there. Tough to lay off. Not a strike, but this starts out as a strike and then goes down and in bad. Tough pitch to lay off. Right out of the Montreal Expo pitching staff, Charlie Lee, David Palmer, they all had Gullickson, they all had that cutter. Pfister goes right back with it. So Dendecker's only had really a half season in AAA, so get him back down there. He could wear it out. If he does, that's good news for Met fans.
If he does, he'll be here. I mean,
yes.
The way he plays defense. That's what he did with AAA Buffalo. Probably would have been the Eastern League Player of the Year if he stayed at Binghamton. He was crushing AA. 2-2 here. And it gets by Avila. To the backstop it goes. John Buck comes in and scores. And the game's all tied at 1.
Well, let's check Avila out here. See if he's just lazy back there. Yes, he is. It might have been a cross-up. It looked like he was anticipating a breaking ball, and it looked like a sinker.
Why didn't Pfister come to the plate there? I mean, the ball took a pretty good bounce back. I'm not saying they would have gotten Buck, but
did they rule that a pass ball?
They called it a wild pitch. Pfister's got a couple wild pitches. That one. It's look awkward with Alex Avila, that's for sure. Tied at 1 now on the breaking ball. Dendecker. Infante just gets him as he was sprinting down the line. So the Mets tie it up on the wild pitch. 1-1 game through 2. New York Mets baseball is brought to you this afternoon by the Volkswagen Springtoberfest. Visit VWDealer.com. Take a look at Field 7. Tradition Field in the backdrop. Daniel Murphy is playing in that game. He's got a base hit and a walk, playing second base today, so a good sign. Wind is whipping through the ballpark today on a hot day. Its temperatures up in the high 80s.
Well, it finally got more like March temperatures here. It's been really a cool spring. But boy, it's getting humid now. We've had hardly any humidity the last 2 days. It's been muggy.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's been how many mornings in March go outside to get the morning coffee, and it was 45 degrees here. Strange.
Had to actually put a sweater on.
Not anymore.
Think of it. And socks.
That's not good. See, I could get through the sweater on, but leave the flip-flops on, or the Crocs in your case.
No offense, folks up there. I know you've had kind of a tough late winter up there.
I'm sure they're loving it when it's 40 degrees back in New York. Torrey Hunter taps one to Turner, and he retires. No, he doesn't. A little early on that one. Turner threw it away, and Hunter is going to go on down to second on the E4.
Well, let's see if they roll a base hit. It shouldn't be. It should be E4. Two base there. Yep, the ball just ran away. I always like, see how that ball tailed in? On a play like this, when a fielder's coming in and he has to have his focus on the ball, it's going to be a close play. He comes up and looks late. I used to always give the target with my glove on my left or my right hand to my right side. When he looks up, he sees my glove, so the ball will come right back to my body.
So if he throws that two-seamer like he just did, that's interesting.
Same thing with a third baseman that was fielding a bunt, a slow dribbler down a third base line. He's throwing underhanded. The ball's going to sink into the line. I would give the target out with my right gloves, so hopefully he'd pick it up. And we worked on that, too, and they were aware of it. So they would look for it. Just that one little split second, they got a target. It could make a difference.
Especially when you get that split second. That's a real interesting point, Keith.
I'll impart that to Ike. We had a nice conversation today about the line drive he off the left-hander down the left field line, and I said, what the heck are they playing over there for? Then I kind of walked away. Then I just said, I know why. Because they pitched him away. So Gio Gonzalez pitched him away the whole game. So basically, you always pay attention where your fielders are positioned when you get up to the plate. It's something different, like drastic like that. I mean, I basically pulled the ball last year. Why would the Nationals be playing Ike, the left fielder, down the left field line? Well, Gio just pitched him away, play him away. So I told that to Ike today. We had a conversation about that. And Ike, of course, said, well, he always pitches me away. Well, that's good then. Then you could look out there.
Sure.
But Ike's really had himself a nice spring. He swung the bat good from the beginning. And I look for him big things. I just hope he doesn't put too much pressure on himself, because a lot's going to be required from him and David Wright in that lineup. I don't think he's of that kind of personality where he's going to do that. I mean, for him to come back after the terrible first half he had, to have such a great second half, that's strong mental strength, and that's impressive. So
meanwhile, good battle going on between Harvey and Cabrera here. Harvey got him with a fastball looking on the outside corner his first time up, and it's 2-2 to the reigning Triple Crown winner. That'll move Hunter to third as Turner makes the play, and there's one down. You said a couple weeks ago when you were here, and that's the first time I heard a different lineup from someone. You liked what? Did you say you liked Ike 4 and David Wright batting 5th?
Yes.
Why do you like that?
Well, if you're going to hit Murphy third, then you can hit Wright 4. And you go left, right, I like to have balance in the lineup.
Tejada 2? Who do you like?
Tejada could hit 2 if he hits.
Terry Collins has a lot of decisions to make right now. I mean,
the issue is who we got to lead off.
You don't know that.
If I'm a Met fan, I want Valdespin to get off red hot and wear it out, because he'll give you speed at the top of the lineup, something the Mets don't have.
Broken bat, but Fielder's 2 for 2, and the Tigers take the lead.
Well, that man can hit. And what's impressive about Fielder, he's a power hitter. But when there's an RBI situation, he can get the base hit. He gets ahead in the count or one first pitch fastball, he can take a whale of a swing. But when it's late in the ball game or it's a run out there to drive in with a base hit, he has the ability to hit the line drive.
That's really true of he and Cabrera. I mean, despite for what Cabrera does, he's just as happy to take the line drive the other way single. You ever watch Fielder take batting practice?
I saw watch today. He was hitting him out of sight with the wind.
Oh my God. He's to watch him in Milwaukee, and he would hit him to the top of Miller Park and the upper deck. It was insane. Victor Martinez now the batter, who got robbed of a base hit by Dendecker with a great catch in center his first time up. Well, you talk about power. There you go. Prince Fielder, since 2007, has the most home runs in Major League Baseball. He had 51 year for the Brewers, and he's last year was a down year. He had 30.
Look at number 4. His buddy, his 3-4 in that lineup.
Jeez, that's amazing. Torrey Hunter, Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, Victor Martinez. It's tough to navigate around. Quintanilla, chance for 2. They'll turn it, inning over. So an unearned run against Matt Harvey gets the double play ball. 2.5 through in Tradition Field. Tigers take the lead 2-1. Mets turn at 2 to get out of any more damage. Jupiter, 4-0 Cardinals as Aaron Laffey getting the start, getting hit around a little bit in that game. Here it's 2-1 Tigers. Tigers adding an unearned run off of Matt Harvey in the third. Harvey struck out the side in the first, couple of walks in the second, walked in a run, and Mets run scoring on a wild pitch. So it's been a little uneven. But Kirk Nieuwenhuis leads it off for the Mets. Nieuwenhuis walked his first trip. Of course, he missed so much time this spring with the bone bruise in his knee, but 1 for 19 so far at the plates. You know, Keith, spring training games have been going on since February the 23rd. Just feels like it's a little bit too long. I mean, yeah, the starting pitcher, certainly it's for that, but I mean, you know, some of these relievers have 10, 11 appearances. Fonte will retire Neuenhuis, and there's one down.
Well, we've had the extra long spring training because of the WBC.
Yeah.
Which, okay, it's once every 4 years, thank goodness. Don't know if I can take 2 years in a row.
But it's. I guess my question is spring training too long now? I mean,
No. Starters need to pitch. That's the problem. That's why it has to. They've got to get 5 starts in at least, and they're once every 5th day, and they're going to start out with a couple innings in the beginning, and they build up their strength. So it's needed for the starting pitchers. Hitters, it'd be good to go in 2.5 weeks.
Well, problem with the World Baseball Classic is Turner has himself a base hit. Justin Turner going to round on into second. Mets have a 1-out runner in the 3rd.
Inside fastball. Nice hitting, not a bad pitch. Let me tell you, that's good hitting right there by Turner. You know, you can make the argument David Wright got hurt in the WBC. Well, he could have got hurt. Did the same thing on a regular spring training game. You know, I don't want losing my players to WBC once every 4 years. I'm sorry. I don't want my players out of camp. I want my team together.
Ike Davis now. Would you have played in the WBC? This happened when you were playing?
No, probably not. They wouldn't have liked it. But that's the breaks. They can't force you. I don't know. I'm glad I didn't have to make that decision.
Yeah. I guess it is a little tough call, right? I mean, you get a chance to represent your country, but I mean, it is a big interference with spring training. But look, even if you're a veteran, you're a star like Wright, he doesn't need to take fielding drills necessarily, but it's the time around the team.
Well, my loyalties are to the team that's paying me,
right,
and the players that the 25 guys that I'm going north with, 24 guys I'm going north with.
Well, I mean, obviously there are a lot of players who feel the same way. You know, for Wright, no brainer for him. He talked about it. Representing his country is something he loves doing. But there are other guys, plenty of great players, for example, for Team USA that could have played that didn't. Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander. How about the 2 young guys, Trout and Harper? They weren't on the team.
What about the All-Star game now? That's completely changed. That's become a 3-ring circus. Extra day, and players are subjected to lots of activities. And I know it's fan-friendly and all that, but I don't know. I guess I'm an old dinosaur. I've been called that before, you know.
Oh, yeah, I don't disagree. 2-2 to Davis. And fielder can't make the play. Skirts under the glove. Turner's going to come on in and tie the game at 2. Ike Davis with an RBI single. His good camp continues.
Changeup. Stayed back. See, the pitcher got it out inside too much. He got that. Pfister got that ball on the outside corner. I couldn't have touched it. He made a mistake out on the inner half of the plate. Get the barrel on it. Used to always love right-handed changeups that they got over the middle. Didn't they? Had to get it on the corner, outside corner. They put it over the middle or inner half. Oh, an off-speed pitch. That is just like that thing comes in as big as a watermelon.
So 2-2 game, Mets and Tigers here in the 3rd. With Marlon Byrd, who was a strikeout victim against Pfister. This could be a double play. And Fonte on the turn. Inning over. The Mets tie it. Ike Davis with the RBI hit. 2-2 game after 3. a good day to be doing that because it is windy down here in Florida. You see that guy is moving. Surf's a little tougher today than normal.
Nice scenery.
We go to the fourth at Tradition Field. 2-2 game. Ike Davis with an RBI single. Get the Mets back tie with the Tigers. Matt Harvey works his fourth inning. He struck out the side in the first. Then had a couple of walks and walked in a runner in the second. And then an unearned run against him in the third. After a Justin Turner error, got a double play on Victor Martinez to end the frame. And now Andy Dirks is the batter for Detroit. Matt Harvey was actually a third-round pick of the Angels back in 2007, but declined, opted instead to go to school, went to North Carolina, and that decision obviously paid off because the Mets drafted him 7th overall in 2010 out of Tar Heel land and came up last year in late July to make his debut. What a good one it was with 11 strikeouts against the Cards. Davis retires Dirks, and there's one down in the fourth. Legend goes that while at North Carolina in I believe it was a playoff game, Harvey against Clemson threw 151 pitches in one game, and on the final pitch hit 96 on the gun, a strikeout on the black. The legend of Matt Harvey grows. Ball one to Johnny Peralta, shortstop who singled his first time up against Harvey. People have asked too, is Harvey, can he be a rookie of the year? And he can't. Rookie status, there's a couple of factors with time spent on a major league roster and also innings pitched. Well, the rookie status for innings pitched is 50 innings. Harvey pitched 59 1/3, so he is not a rookie anymore. I'm sure Mets fans will just take 20 wins. Forget rookie of the year. Three and one count to Peralta with one down in the fourth. And it's outside. A fastball misses, and Harvey now has issued his third walk. Told you Daniel Murphy's playing on the backfield today in a minor league game. Good progress for him. 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. This one looks like the old 4-3 on your scorecard. Nice camera work out there, guys. So it could be a good day for the Mets in terms of injury news. If you just tuned in, David Wright took batting practice, a full round of it and infield before the game today, and felt pretty good about it. So that's a real positive step for him. And Murphy has played in a minor league game before, and that's when he retweaked his side. So if he can get through today and feel all right, tomorrow will be the telltale for him, really. And that'd be a good sign. And maybe, just maybe, both guys can be ready by opening day, but we'll see. Alex Avila, the catcher. Alex Avila's dad, Al, is the assistant general manager to Dave Dombrowski. There goes the runner, and Buck can't get a grip on the ball. Stolen base for Dirks. So I guess that's a pretty good leg up when you've got your dad in the war room with your son on the board. Let's take him. Obviously, Avila was a great player. Playing for his dad every day in Detroit. Buck just never got the handle there. And excuse me, I said Dirks. That was Peralta on the steal. He's on second. One down, 0-2 to Avila. Harvey will look back the runner, and there's two away.
Change up. Got it away. That's the most important. You want to get it down. That was up, but if you're going to miss anywhere, you don't want to miss over the plate. You can get away with it on the outside corner up a little bit.
Well, that was the pitch that Terry Collins implored Harvey to work on after his first starts last year, if you remember. And Harvey has, of course, had it in his repertoire, but worked on it against the Giants, and then as Murphy, maybe his day is done. Maybe after that Giant game when he was great and used the changeup a little bit more, maybe threw it a little in excess just to kind of show the manager, hey, I've got a changeup, because he had his only bad start in San Diego when he got roughed up by the Padres. But really now he's got command of all three of his pitches, with a fourth curveball in there too.
Well, his changeup is still his third pitch, still a work in progress. And this is where you want to use it. Now you see the percentage. We love this. So changeup should be the pitch that he uses. Well, whatever pitch he likes. He might have a curveball better one day and not the slider, or vice versa. But he's going to be a guy predominantly that's going to come after you. He's a power pitcher.
No harm in throwing the fastball, because he had the fourth best average fastball velocity in the major leagues last year, 94.7 miles per hour. Why not throw it? Dan Decker racing, can't get that one, and Bird's on the chase. Infante's going to turn at second. Omar Infante gives the Tigers the lead. Peralta scores. It's 3-2 Detroit on the RBI triple. So finally we saw a ball that Matt Den Decker couldn't get to.
Well, probably a little error in judgment here, a youthful error. He had no chance of catching this ball. There's 2 outs. It's a base hit. You're not going to catch the ball. Nice effort. Keep it in front. You don't want the guy on third base now where a base hit's going to score another run.
So Infante has got 2 RBIs, walked with the bases loaded, and then the RBI triple. Austin Jackson back at the top of the order. Upstairs, and it's 2-0 to Austin Jackson. Keith, this is not making an excuse for Harvey or Pfister, but how much does a win like this affect the pitching? How much does it affect things? Grip, anything like that at all?
Nope, it does not, because the weather's warm. Only time that I think Ronnie would concur with me, that pitchers have a difficulty.
Jackson rips one fair. The Tigers will add another. Jackson can fly. And he's got an easy RBI double, 4-2 Detroit.
Well, there you go. Then Decker, with that little overly aggressive mistake, you got another run on the board. That double would not have scored on Infante if he'd have been on first. And now Harvey just starting to get touched here a little bit. Started out so well, 3 strikeouts, 1, 2, 3 in the first inning. But's given up a run in the second, third, and here 2 in the fourth.
Well, we said this was going to be a test for Harvey. I mean, the Tigers, this is their starting squad on opening day. They brought today everybody, not just a couple guys. So this is as good as a test you're going to face, because this is one of the best lineups in the game. Harvey's hasn't had tremendous control after that first inning. As we look at Torrey Hunter, who at 37 years old, got a 2-year, $26 million deal to come to Detroit from the Angels. That win might keep that fair, and it does. Or excuse me, keep it in play. And Buck makes the catch in foul territory. And the inning is over. Torrey Hunter can't believe it. Not a fan of that one. Inning is over. Tigers add 2 to take a 4-2 lead. Time for a health tip presented by the North Shore LIJ Health System.
I'm Dr.
4-2 Tigers on a warm and windy day here in Port St. Lucie, Florida, as we are 8 days out from opening day. Along with Keith Hernandez, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Glad to have you along. And down to the nitty-gritty. John Buck leads it off against Doug Fister and waves at the breaking ball. Buck walked and scored on a wild pitch his first at bat. It's 2-1 to Buck. Buck's best year was 2010 playing for the Blue Jays. 281 that year, 20 home runs. That's what's got him the 3-year deal with the Marlins. Went over to Miami with the opening day grand slam off of Mike Pelfrey. Hit 16 home runs. 2011 hit 12 home runs last year, but hit only 192 last year. Drives this one, but Jackson can't get there. Falls in front of Austin Jackson. Base hit for John Buck to lead off the fourth. Good news earlier today. David Wright taking a full round of batting practice, getting healthy, or trying to.
We're almost a week away from opening day, so it's going to be important to play in some games. At some point, and we only have a week left, so you can kind of do the math just as I can. But like I said, there's no plan set in stone right now for when games. I got to feel, see how I feel after batting practice, see how I wake up tomorrow and feel. And, it's a pretty safe bet that I probably won't be in a game tomorrow.
But it's a step forward for David Wright, who was asked about opening day, and he said, I'm as optimistic as I was last week about opening day, and did compliment the Mets for kind of keeping him away from himself, Keith. He said, look, everyone knows that I'm aggressive and I want to play, but they've done a good job at kind of pacing me getting back from this intercostal injury. I mean, look, this guy played with a broken back for a month a couple of years ago, so he obviously wants to play, but the Mets are putting the reins on, making sure he doesn't injure himself any further. Andrew Brown hits a double play ball. Peralta, Infante fielder, 2-0. Keith, how about the pull of opening day? I mean, it is one game, and it is, it's great. It feels like a holiday. It's a beautiful thing. It's symbolic. But how much does that pull on you as a player, as a day, to be there and to be playing, even if it means you're back 5 days later?
Well, opening day is always very exciting, and you want to play an opening day. Unfortunately, in my career, I was never hurt on an opening day. Never got hurt in spring, so I was fortunate. But you got to take orders from the medical staff. David's too critical component to this team, I think more so than ever now. And you've got Murph, who came back too quick and aggravated his intercostal, similar type injuries, and you just don't want that happening to David. Now, if David retweaks it, then that's going to set him back, and he's not going to be able to. He might miss, the first half of April. So you want to be very careful. I think David's very cognizant of that. And, he starts swinging now. You want him to start swinging the bat. In BP, you can take relaxed swings. So they'll moderate it. And hopefully it'll be a thing in the past. That he's recovered completely and it won't have any effect on him. A lot of times those darn muscles, when you pull and tweak those muscles, they can be aggravating all year for you. They can come back on you. It may not come back immediately, but it's so strenuous playing and using your muscles in a swing and building ground balls that your muscle will weaken maybe over two weeks, 3 weeks, and then it sets it up to get hurt again. So it doesn't mean that you bring it back. Sometimes you bring it back too quick in a muscle and he re-injures it. Okay, you brought him back too quick. But sometimes the muscle gets fatigued and it has more of a delayed effect. You can come back 2-3 weeks later. You got to be careful.
I guess the positive for Wright is that he played in the World Baseball Classic. He played in spring games before he got hurt. So if he does get healthy enough, he's not necessarily going to require the same at-bats as Murphy, who hasn't played a single spring game. Doesn't have a single spring at-bat.
Murph needs to get some at-bats. There's no question.
Murphy Dunn, by the way, played in that minor league game on Field 7 right behind Tradition Field. Had a single, a walk, and then a ground out to second, and played second base. Not sure how many innings. I'm guessing somewhere 4 or 5. But, you know, again, as David Wright said, see how he feels tomorrow. That'll be a real test for both guys. There's Murphy last year. 40 doubles. Came into camp. Told me he wanted to hit with a little bit more power. Tweaked his stance just ever so slightly. Try and stay in and be able to pull the ball a little bit better in certain instances. And hasn't had a chance to really work on that stance too much because he's been out for a long time. Got a cortisone shot in that right intercostal back on February the 19th. One and 2 to Quintanilla with 2 down. Hangs in against Pfister. Quintanilla walked, stranded on the base pass his last time up. Battling with Pfister. This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Terry Collins has a lot of decisions to make this final week.
All managers do, except they got good ball clubs like this one out here on the American League champs.
Quintanilla stays with the curveball. Well, we saw the Nationals yesterday. Davey Johnson in that group. He doesn't have many to make, if any. And written about in the newspapers today about what we talked about yesterday a little bit, but Pedro Feliciano with the new collective bargaining agreement has got to be let known by tomorrow if he's going to make this team or not. Otherwise, given a few days to try and latch on somewhere else. He and LaTroy Hawkins and Burdack in that group. Burdack is injured, so he's going to be here. Hawkins going to make this team. Feliciano, a very interesting choice. And we'll see what the Mets do. Fonte kind of plays that one side saddle, but he gets Quintanilla to end the frame. Mets have a hit. Can't score it. Tigers up by 2. This tour of Tradition Field brought to you by the Lexus Command Performance Sales Event. On a warm, sunny, windy day here on the east coast of Florida. Good crowd on hand. Mets and Tigers. Detroit with a 4-2 lead. See the flags just whipping out to right field. But it's never a bad day to be out there on the berm. Take the shoes off. Get a little breeze. So the heat doesn't feel so bad when you got the wind blowing on you like that. Miguel Cabrera leads it off for the Tigers against Harvey. First pitch swinging, and Quintanilla boots it at short, and he's got no play. The Mets sloppy today. A second error for them. and a leadoff runner for the Tigers.
Well, poorly played. Number 1, ball hit hard. Number 2, and I would like to see that again if we could, guys. There it is. Look at that. Not on the run, not in any one-handed. So many things done wrong there. And you've got a runner that can't run. It's an easy 6-3 on your scorecard. There's no need to run in and catch that ball. Play the short or long hop with your body in front, 2 hands.
Prince Fielder, the batter, a pinch runner on first, too. So Cabrera's day is done. Danny Worth comes on a pinch run for Cabrera. Fielder's had himself a good day. 2 for 2, RBI, a couple of singles, and a run scored. A broken bat RBI single against Harvey his last time up, as Bobby Parnell, who's been working almost exclusively 9th innings for Terry Collins this spring. Looks like he'll be in a little earlier today. It's 1-2 to Fielder.
First base for the Tigers, number 29, Danny Worth.
How's your NCAA tournament bracket looking, Keith?
I didn't get involved. I didn't follow. So
you stayed away.
I've stayed away for quite some time. And I do like college basketball. I do like college sports.
Apparently Ohio State, the battle with Iowa State, and Aaron crafted a 3-pointer with milliseconds left to go, and they move on the number 2 seed today. Those of you who are interested in watching baseball with us, Fielder hammers one foul.
Well, I had dinner. Well, there's some of the picks from some of the players.
Georgetown, Matt Harvey and Gonzaga. That bracket's not looking good. So I'm sorry, you had dinner?
I watched the Gonzaga Wichita State game, and I watched the first half. And Wichita State just had too much speed for Gonzaga. They dominated in the first half.
Fielder punched out. Harvey gets the heat by Fielder, who stares at the strike zone from umpire Chris Siegel. Now will take a seat.
Let's see what he thinks here. Oh, that's a strike. If anything, had to be outside corner. I mean, outside. It was knee high.
That's a 5th strikeout for Harvey, as Fielder will sit down. Victor Martinez, the DH, is up. Martinez got robbed of a base hit in the 2nd inning on a good catch by Decker, and then grounded into a double play. 6-4-3, that back in the 3rd. The game of the night last night was Marquette and Butler. That was an excellent game down to the wire. Marquette eked out a victory.
Louisville's going to be very tough.
They're good. Of course, LaTroy Hawkins, we showed his bracket. He's got a special interest. His godson, Elijah Johnson, is the guard for Kansas. He's got a little bit more than a rooting interest. This could be 2. Quintanilla for a chance at redemption, and they turn the easy double play. Martinez, the slow runner, not running very fast. So Harvey gets a double play, gets out of the inning. We're halfway home at Tradition Field. Tigers up on the Mets, 4-2. return to Citi Field to open the 2013 season Monday, April 1st against the Padres at 1:10. Jonathan Neese on the mound, of course. Call 718-507-TIXX or visit Mets.com now for your opening day tickets. Brandon Hicks leads it off for the Mets. Bottom 5 from Tradition Field. Matt Harvey and the Mets trailing Doug Fister and the Tigers 4-2 as Hicks takes a breaking ball for a strike. Brandon is 0 for 1, strikeout looking. His first time up. Den Decker on deck. It's a lot of D's in that alliteration.
It sounds Dutch, doesn't it, Den Decker?
Yes, it does. It is. But it was rookie hazing last year when he was in spring training. He had to wear clogs on road trips on the bus.
You got Darno. It's very French.
Darno's got, Travis told me earlier in the spring, and I can't remember, he's got a very interesting background. He's got a bunch of nationalities in his background. That right on the hands. Rich Donnelly, the third base coach today with the Mets traveling to Jupiter. Tim Tuffle went there. Kept his eye on it to get out of the way. Rich Donnelly, the manager for the Brooklyn Cyclones. And he'll be there again this year. Two to Hicks. Joining us from the Mets dugout now and coming back from the minor league game is Daniel Murphy. And Daniel, it's Kevin and Keith upstairs.
Hey guys.
Well, good to hear your voice, and even better as Hicks goes down on strikes.
Haha, I live.
Well, that's the thing. It's good to see you out there. We showed you a little bit in the minor league game today. I mean, just before you even get to how you feel, how does it feel just to go out and play a game? I know it's been driving you nuts just to wait.
So much fun.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. It was definitely nice to get out there, and it was a lot of fun to get out there and be able to play some defense, and hopefully I'll respond well tomorrow.
Well, how did you feel? I mean, I know the two tests will be tomorrow and see how you wake up and how it does after you sleep. But how did it feel to be out there and move around and hit and play D and do all of that?
No, it did. It felt good. It felt really good. I think that as of right now, I hope tomorrow I shouldn't have any problems. And this is the best I've felt all spring. It's frustrating that it took this long, but also it's been an opportunity to be humbled a little bit, and there's nothing ever wrong with that.
Daniel, it's an upper body injury. Or were you able, I think the most important thing is if you're not playing, are you being able to do stuff as far as your conditioning? So when you get well, the big thing is obviously getting at bats, but are you going to have your stamina to be able to play 9 innings?
I think so. My legs were never a problem. So once I was cleared to do activities, I was able to condition with the team and even take ground balls. So I actually was ramping up all the way to play games. The day we kind of shut it down for a couple of days, I was supposed to go play that day. So, I don't think my legs are quite underneath me the way I would want for baseball purposes, but we've still got a week left of baseball to get that squared away.
How long has it been since have you been able to do the conditioning? How many weeks? A couple of weeks?
I've been able to do it for the last 3 weeks.
Okay, great.
Danny, you as you said, you got to this point before and had to shut it down with a little bit more stiffness. So, what's the key for you here? When you wake up, do you have to be completely pain-free? Do you have to be not stiff at all? What is the key to move forward now for you?
Well, I think when we had a really big key a couple of days ago where they did some testing kind of in the area, put some stress on the area where I had been sore, and that responded very well. So there was no sharp pains whatsoever. So right now, I feel good. I feel really good. But as Keith can attest to, feeling 100% is more of an off-season sort of feeling than it is necessarily during the season. So I definitely think I'm going to be ready to play, and hopefully can use this next week. But I think I should be ready for opening day, and that's the way I'm preparing myself.
Meanwhile, Nieuwenhuis draws his second walk of the game. So Nieuwenhuis getting a chance to play a full game today. He coming back from injury himself. He's 0 for 1, but a couple of walks at the plate as we talk with Daniel Murphy. And Well, that is good a sign. You know, for the as far as at bats go, Daniel. You know, you mentioned it. You got a little over a week left here. So, I mean, how many do you need? I mean, what do you need to get done here to actually be able to play on opening day?
We're going to find out, I think.
It's true.
No, I think you know, I kind of had mapped it out a little bit in my mind. You know, hoping I can, you know, as I expect to stay healthy. I was thinking probably get in the neighborhood of 25, and you know, 20, 25, and I think that number has the ability to go up. Just early on, I didn't want to go over there and try to get 6 at bats today and get an entire spring training back in one day. But I do think that if I get to like Wednesday, Thursday, and we're looking at it like, you know, there's no setbacks, it feels good, I'm getting stronger each day. I don't think there's any reason I can't go to the minor league side, get 6, 7, maybe even 8 at bats, and kind of, you know, jam a couple of days worth of work into one.
Well, Daniel, certainly good to see you back on the field, and best of luck staying healthy, and hopefully this week goes exactly as you hope, okay?
All right, guys, thank you. I appreciate it. Get down, ball.
And as Murph just said, that ball does get down. Newman Heights going to third. Mets have a 2-out rally with Justin Turner's second hit of the game.
Well, something that Justin does so well is he goes the other way naturally. That's a pretty good pitch right there. Right out, just kind of placed it out there in the right field. And Newman Heights, we know, can run. He's an automatic on that, going to third base. Another reach for it a little bit, but he kept his hands back.
Pitching change as Doug Fister's day has come to a close. You see 88 pitches. He's worked hard today, and that'll be his real final last tune-up before the regular season. So the Tigers go to the bullpen. Mets have 2 on when we come back. New pitcher is the lefty Darren Downs for the Tigers, replacing Doug Fister with 2 down in the 5th. 4-2 Tigers lead, but Mets have runners on the corners trying to get back in this game, and Ike Davis at the plate.
Well, Downs had 18 appearances for the Tigers last year, all out of the bullpen.
The 28-year-old former 5th-round pick of the Cubs. Here you see Fister's day. 4 walks for him, 4 strikeouts. 88 pitches, but 48 for strikes. Just didn't have the spring that he would like. A little bit better today than he's been.
Still 4 hits, 8 base runners, and 4 2/3. He's not can't be happy with the walks. This is a guy we said earlier that only walked 37 batters in 161 innings last year. So it's a little alarming.
The infamous Al Albuquerque warming for the Tigers.
I didn't know there was an Albuquerque. I thought it was a city.
City and a human being. And it's 2-1 to Ike Davis. Davis is 1 for 2 as an RBI single in this one. And he lays off. It's 3-1 to Davis. Marlon Byrd waiting on deck if I can keep the inning going. That's runs coming on the Davis RBI, and then John Buck scored on a wild pitch against Doug Fister in the second. 2 down, 3-1, and it's 3-2.
They're just keeping the ball away from Mike.
Payoff pitch to Davis. Line drive to center to right at Austin Jackson, and the Mets leave 2. We're played 5 at Tradition Field. Tigers still up by 2.
The Lexus Command.
Two Tigers lead the Mets. We go to the 6th inning here at Tradition Field. And it's a split squad day. The other Mets squad is trailing the Cardinals 6-2 in the 6th in Jupiter. Travis d'Arnaud had an RBI single yesterday, has one today as well. Aaron Laffey gave up 4 runs on the start. Greg Burke gave up 2 runs in relief. Matt Harvey's day is done, and he yields to Bobby Parnell here in the 6th inning.
Well, not the outing that Harvey wished that he would like, obviously, but still a learning experience. He pitched against the A team here from the Tigers, the American League champs. Probably not happy with the walks. 3 walks in 5 innings.
Harvey struck out the side in the first, then ran into that trouble in the second inning when walked in a run, walked a couple, had a couple of errors behind him. 88 pitches, 51 for strikes for Harvey in his outing, as Johnny Peralta on deck. 0-2 to Andy Dirks is upstairs for Parnell. Bobby's had a good spring, 9 2/3 innings in his 9 appearances. He's allowed 3 runs, walked 2, struck out 3. And he is Terry Collins' closer to start the season. Frank Francisco, Dirks down he goes. Buck tags him, so there's 1 away. Frank Francisco threw off a mound for the first time yesterday, but he is still very much behind the program. So Parnell will be the closer to start, and you know what? If Parnell does well, he'll be the closer to finish. Frank Francisco has no guarantees when he comes back. So Dirk's a strikeout victim. That'll bring up the shortstop Peralta. He's 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. Also a stolen base and a run today. The Tigers starting shortstop, taking strike 1 from Parnell. Taking strike 2 from Bobby. 94 on the gun.
Well, I know Met fans have been impatient with Parnell, and I've always liked his stuff, and that's why the Mets have hung on to him. He's got a good arm. And the second half of last year, he kind of, with the help of Jason Isringhausen, developing that knuckle curve, has really transformed Parnell. So Bobby's ready to hit into his prime. He's young, a golden arm. You just don't get rid of talent like that.
He's got Peralta 1 and 2 as we play in the 6th. 4-2 Tigers over the Mets. The other thing about Parnell, Keith, is that for years all we talked about is his fastball. And he hit 100 miles an hour in Boston. He hit 100 miles an hour in Houston. Well, last year he learned to change speeds with his fastball, especially in that second half, and that's something he never really had the propensity to do. It was just to always go out and throw hard. He would mix and match in the same inning, throw one fastball 92, the next 96. That was a moment of development for him as well. 3-2 to Peralta. It's inside ball 4. So he comes in with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, but he missed. And the Tigers have a 1-out runner for Alex Avila.
Now batting number 13, the catcher, Alex Avila.
So Terry Collins looking on. And Terry is getting set to hope a lot of guys get healthy for him and trying to answer a lot of questions in this final week as Parnell gets the fastball by Avila. See what he's done as Mets manager and entering the final year of his deal with no new deal on the horizon. The Mets and Sandy Alderson specifically has said as much, and Terry has said all the right things about it. Mets turn the double play on Avila, and they end the inning. Good inning for Bobby Parnell. Finish that thought on Terry when we come back. Meanwhile, Parnell comes in, has a nice 6. Mets still trail it, though, 4-2. Gorgeous day at Tradition Field, warm weather. Watching some spring baseball, 8 days away from opening day. And Al Albuquerque, one of the best names in the game, will come on and sling it for the Tigers, who lead the Mets 4-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Marlon Byrd will lead it off for the Mets. Byrd 0 for 2. A strikeout victim to Doug Fister in the first, and then grounded out to a 6-4-3 double play. that in the third. Quinton Berry, newly inserted to right field, can't catch up to that one. Bird sprinting towards second. Good hustle by Marlon Bird. He's got a leadoff double for the Mets.
The wind kind of blew this ball away from Berry. No chance at that one. And Bird right there, you can know that's going to drop, and that's got double written all over it.
Now John Buck now tying run at the plate for the Mets. Buck's got 1 for 1 today. He's single, also reached on a walk, came around and scored on a wild pitch back in the second inning as he whiffs at the Albuquerque offering.
Chased a bad breaker here.
Fouls that one back. Albuquerque, 26 years old, originally signed by the Cubs out of the Dominican Republic in 2003. 41 relief appearances with the Tigers back in 2011. He was terrific that season for Detroit. He's got Buck 0-2.
Goes hard.
Buck sits down, and Albuquerque has his first strikeout.
Well, 0-2, and he came right and pounded him in and beat him.
Kudos to the Tigers clubhouse manager for finding a way to fit Albuquerque on the back of his jersey. As we see, Andrew Brown will be the hitter for the Mets. I mean, that's very Saltalamacchia-ish.
It's like Monbouquet. Remember Bill Monbouquet with the Red Sox?
It's a tough one. That is a tough one.
He was actually, when I came over for the trade, Bill Monbouquet was a minor league pitching coach.
I mean, that's creativity, right? Look at that.
Yeah, it is.
That's no easy sew job. Andrew Brown 0 for 2. With Bird off second after the leadoff double, Albuquerque's throwing some gas.
This fastball here away. He's just throwing hard.
I was talking about Terry Collins when we went to break, and the job he's done as Mets manager, I think he's done a really good job coming in here and taking this transition phase of this Mets team, if that's what you want to call it. It's the word I'll go with, I guess, for now. And Terry, again, in the final year of his deal, front office has said there will be no extension. It's a hard thing to face in New York. Terry's handled it, said all the right things. You can imagine there's a lot of pressure on him, this year, knowing that without another year on the deal, and get off to a good start and all of those things. He sees all the young pitching and things that have been around here, and he knows they're not going to be up to start the team.
Well, remember too that the year before he took over the helm, he was the minor league coordinator.
Sure.
So he saw a lot of the young players.
Brown goes around and down on strikes. Albuquerque with 2 strikeouts here in the 6th.
Well, all the fastballs and a slider. City swung. Okay. Spring training. Bottom of the 6th.
Time to move it along. That'll bring up Quintanilla, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. But I mean, let's face it. I mean, that puts Terry Collins in a pretty tough spot this year. He knows what's on the line. He also knows that if at any time there's a 4 or 5 game losing streak, he's going to be questioned every day about his contract in New York. Because Brandon Lyon, who worked yesterday, will go on back-to-back days.
Well, it's part of baseball, so I'm sure Terry disappointed he didn't get a 1-year extension. But, you know, you got to deal with it.
And he has this spring. Put it to rest early in camp, saying all the right things and, you know, move on and trying to put together this Mets team. He did indicate to the reporters yesterday, Jose Alvarez warming for the Tigers, that, you know, he may take some of these decisions down to the weekend. Mets will finish up their spring in Sarasota, take on the Orioles. That game's on Saturday, and then they'll fly home to New York. Sunday will be an off day, and opening day Monday, April 1st. 1-2 to Quintanilla, and Albuquerque gets him.
Struck out the side.
Now Albuquerque coming in dealing. Strikes out the Mets in the 6th inning. Tigers still in front in this one, 4-2. New York Mets baseball brought to you by Evil Dead in theaters April 5th. Rated R. Brandon Lyon working on back-to-back days for the Mets, relieving Bobby Parnell.
Well, Lyons is going north, and it looks like he's going to be the setup guy. He's a veteran. He's been around and was a closer once with the Diamondbacks and Astros.
Lyon getting that major league deal. The only person the Mets signed out there in the bullpen to get a major league deal. And he faces Omar Infante to start off the 7th inning. That one just skirted right by Hicks. I don't know if that hit the cut in the grass or Hicks just misjudged it. Meanwhile, aggressive by Infante, going for 2, and he's in there.
Well, this ball's hit hard. Let's see what happens here. No, in between hop. Did not. No lateral movement there to get in front. Got to get in front of that ball. And he's had a tough spring defensively. That's really hurt, I think, his chances of making this ball club.
Yeah, they score that one a base hit. Hicks has got to at least knock that one down. So Mets defense has been shoddy today. They've got a couple errors and then that misplay. And Austin Jackson skies one to center. Wynn carrying it. Then Decker back fighting the wind. Leaping! And he made the catch. No, he did not. They say no catch.
I hope he didn't hurt his shoulder.
Oh, man. He really went up and came down in an awkward position. Meanwhile, Austin Jackson has himself a triple and an RBI. And the Tigers make it 5-2. You saw the wind just forcing that ball back there. And now you hope Den Decker's okay.
I'm worried about a separated shoulder. It doesn't look, if he had a separated shoulder, he would be in a lot of pain.
He's coming out.
Could have been a wrist. Yeah, it's a wrist. He fell on the wrist. So we'll see it again. We'll keep an eye on his right hand as he falls. Get turned around. Now he's backpedaling.
Oh, he came down. That wrist was kind of stiff.
Yep. So it's the glove hand. Yep.
He came down hard. You just saw the wind. Yeah, he came down real hard.
Yep.
I mean, you saw the wind just playing tricks with it. He turned around a couple times, and even when he squared up, he still had to backpedal and leap, and he had it. And couldn't squeeze it coming down, and you hope Den Decker's okay. And looks like a wrist, but I guess we'll have to wait and hear from the Mets exactly what it is. Now, the Mets have put a minor leaguer in center in Alonzo Harris. So he will take over for Den Decker. Meanwhile, it's an RBI triple for Austin Jackson. That scored Infante. And the infield coming in. Quintin Berry's first at bat will drive in a run. Berry can blaze around the bases, but Bird cuts it off. Will stop with a single. RBI single, Quintin Berry, and the Tigers add another at 6-2.
Well, unfortunate for Lyon here. A ground ball to third base that was misplayed by Hicks. And then a wind-blown triple that really would have been a fly ball. And now this rip. So 2 runs are in.
So the Tigers with those breaks adding 2 runs against Lyon, making it a 6-2 game. Danny Worth has his first at bat. He came on a pinch run for Miguel Cabrera in the 5th inning. Tigers adding some insurance with a 6-2 lead. Quintin Berry's got terrific speed over at first base. See if Lyon pays him any attention. Landon Powell is now behind the dish for the Mets, so Buck's day is over. So Lyon will give him a look. Berry really came on the scenes for the Tigers last year because Austin Jackson was hurt, and Berry came up and did a fantastic job filling in. And then when Jackson came back, got playing time as well because he was so good.
Now he had 258 last year in 94 games, 291 at bats.
21 of 21 on stolen bases for Berry last year. That's a pretty good percentage.
A lot of strikeouts. Boy, oh boy, 80 strikeouts and 291 at bats. Ouch.
Berry not going, and Worth drills one to left center. That's headed for the gap. It's cut off out there by Brown, and Berry slowed up. Now it's going to come around third. Here comes the relay. Powell can't corral it, and the run scores. Well, that was strange. Berry slowed up there. I don't know if he got a stop sign up there, but then turned on the jets.
Fastball ripped in the gap. Nicely cut off by Brown. A good relay throw here. Has the play. It's like Berry, just a spring train, has no intention of scoring. Did not pick up his third base coach. So that's his mistake. Poor throw home on the relay from Quintanilla. Gives the catcher a very tough play right there, the in-between hop.
Yeah, it was near impossible for Powell. Don Kelly lifts one in the air, and that wind to right center. This is deep, and this is gone. Two-run home run for Don Kelly, and the Tigers have blown the doors off. It's 9-2.
Five straight hits. And anything in the air, we said when this game started, anything in the air to left field, right field, going to get out.
Ricky Bonas, the pitching coach today, because Dan Worthen went on the split squad to Jupiter. He's out to talk to Brandon Lyon. So Infante led off with a double and a triple, the wind-dated triple by Jackson that Decker got hurt on. That scored a run. Quentin Berry with an RBI single. Danny Worth with an RBI double, and now the Don Kelly two-run home run. And all of a sudden a 5 spot, and it's 9-2 Tigers here in the 7th inning. Well, Lyon hasn't had luck, but there's been a couple balls that have been shots off him too. And the inning started with a ball that got under the glove of Hicks. That was ruled a double. Tigers, with a lot of their reserves showing you their offensive muscle, as Victor Martinez still in the game. A lot of the regulars are out of there, but Martinez as the DH still in there. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of double play balls. The base is empty now, still nobody out. Curveball by Lyon is ball 1. 49 years of professional baseball for Jimmy Leland. Managing the team that originally drafted him, the Tigers. Did so as Leland was a catcher. 68 years old now, and the 19th manager in history with over 1,500 wins. 1,676 to be exact. Two 2-0 to Victor Martinez. And Davis with the backhand. The soft flip, nice touch. And that's the first out of the inning. Ike had to time that flip. That was nicely done.
Well, he could have set himself and made an overhand throw here. It's a very risky play. He's got a little smile on his face. Make the play here down the line. You can plant that foot and give an overhand toss to the pitcher. But nevertheless, 3-1 on your scorecard.
Well, that'll bring up Matt Tuiasosopo. Tuiasosopo played in Buffalo for the Mets organization last year. He's had a killer spring. He's batting .318, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. And he drills another one. This is the deep center field and way back there. And it's off the wall. Just missed a home run. Every time I see this guy this spring, he's hitting line drive bullets. And I think Brandon Lyon's day is done.
Well, he got scorched today. That wasn't allowed out except the ground ball. Well, there was a loud out. Yes, this ball was smoked off the wall.
Scott Atchison on to relieve Brandon Lyon as the Tigers have opened up a 9-2 lead. Lions.
The Lexus Command Performance.
Brandon Lyons had himself a good spring, but today just wasn't his day as he threw 13 pitches, gave up 6 hits, including a 2-run home run. Tigers have 5 runs on the board. There's still only 1 man out, and Scott Atchison on in relief to face Ramon Santiago for a strike. Atchison's had a good spring. Strike thrower. That's what Mets people have been impressed about. Hit to center, and it finds a home. 7th hit of the inning for the Tigers, as Alonzo Harris couldn't get in to grab that one. Tigers keep moving it along.
When it rains, it pours, and this is just off the end of the bat. Popo, I hope I pronounced that correctly, was caught in between there. Tough play, way ahead.
Can't get over how much he looks like Mike Morse, or how much Mike Morse looks like him. Brian Pena, reserve catcher today for the Tigers. Still only 1 down. Runners at the corners. Atchison trying to limit the damage, and there's a strike. Atchison coming over this offseason from the Red Sox on a minor league deal. And Quintanilla is going to make the play and keep the runners where they are for the 2nd out. As the Tigers will send the 10th man to the plate.
Yep, they have batted around.
Omar Infante, who had a double that went under the glove of Brandon Hicks, started off this whole rally, and he scored, so he's at it again. Atchison had a season with the Red Sox last year that was a good year, interrupted by a ligament strain in the elbow, which a lot of times will require a Tommy John type of surgery, but he did not do that. He rested and rehabbed and then came back and threw 5 scoreless outings at the end of the year in September. He's on the DL from July 14th through September the 12th.
Yeah, that was a lot of those innings were in the first half. Both the starting rotation for the Red Sox was just abysmal.
And Atchison gets out of the jam without any more runs. Good job by Scott Atchison to put out the fire. Tigers put a 5 spot on the board. They lead the Mets 9-2. When you watch Suki and Francis on the Pix 11 Morning News, you get more of what you want in the morning. More news, more weather, more fun. The Pix 11 Morning News, weekday morning starting at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. I can't get over the 4 a.m. That's just incredible to get up at that early and be as spry as they are on that show. Tremendous job. As we see, split squad score. Mets are coming back in that game. They were down, but Daryl Siciliani had the 2-run double. And Mets getting contribution from their minor leaguers as we see Jose Alvarez, a lefty on for the Tigers, facing Brandon Hicks, who swings at the first pitch. Quentin Berry's got it in right. And Hicks is 0 for 3 this afternoon. Well, this was supposed to be Matt Dendecker's spot, but instead it's Alonzo Harris, who came in for Matt Dendecker, who was hurt. And Dendecker went back on that play the last half inning and really came down awkwardly. It looked like a right wrist, but that's just speculation, and you hope that he is okay. Alonzo Harris, a 39th round pick in 07 by the Mets out of Macomb High School in Mississippi. 23-year-old was in St. Lucie this past season, batted .287, 23 doubles, 7 triples, 8 home runs, also stole 40 bases. That's some speed. Neuenhuis on deck. So Harris getting a chance in the big field with the split squad today and a big swing. So we see Harris here. We told you about Siciliani, some of the Mets minor leaguers. How about some of the guys you haven't heard all that much about? When you look at some of the other not so noticeable guys, at least to most. How about a guy like Gavin Cecchini, 19-year-old shortstop who was in rookie ball last year. 12th overall pick by the Mets last season as Harris taps one to second and he's retired and 2 down. Now Cecchini will likely be in extended spring training and then head for Brooklyn this summer to play in the New York Penn League. He could be in Savannah as well and play a full season in low A ball in the Sally League. That's to be determined. But what I'm told about Gavin can be a shortstop at the major league level. He's got those tools. It's not going to be a situation where he's going to be switching positions. Obviously, at just 19 years old, he's got a way to go. But, you know, how about this? You know, when you draft guys, you look for everything, right? You look for talent, you look for intangibles, you look for things like being a natural leader. Gavin Cecchini, now look, he's a 12th overall pick. He got a signing bonus, I believe, of over $2 million. But you know what? He donated 10 grand of that to the Hurricane Sandy relief efforts because he's from Louisiana.
Very nice.
And he saw the Hurricane Katrina, you know, the horrendous devastation it did down there. And you know, now being around in the Mets organization, 10 grand out of his pocket. How about that? For a 19-year-old kid, that's pretty good.
How about $2 million for a signing bonus?
It's also pretty good.
Jeez. I got $30K and I thought I was in Fat City.
You know, I have a feeling you might get a little more if you were just being drafted today. 2-1 to Neuenhuis, who's walked a couple times today. And taps out to second base. Neuenhuis retired. 1-2-3 inning for Jose Alvarez. Tigers up 9-2.
At Jeep,
You always see them in Florida. Got to be careful going out to your car in the parking lot, Keith. See, there's a sign. Beware of alligators. I like the accompaniment of the Indiana Jones music. That was a nice job by Steve in audio. Gets you the feel. There's an adventure on hand. Take opening day in 8 days. How about that?
I'm all for it.
All right.
It's been a long spring.
9-2 Tigers over the Mets as we head to the eighth. Scott Atchison remains in for the full inning after relieving Brandon Lyon and gets Austin Jackson to ground out to third. Turner retires him, and there's one down. We're joined by Matt Harvey from the Mets dugout. Matt, it's Kevin and Keith upstairs. And for you today, what was this outing like? How would you rate yourself today? You came out on fire, striking out the side, and then, you know, had a couple of issues in that second inning there. How did you think you did today?
You know, obviously definitely got behind the count a little bit too much. You know, I think after the first inning, I realized that everything felt really good, and I think it was one of those outings where I tried to do a little bit too much instead of, you know, visualizing the target and just letting it go. So, you know, I definitely take a positive away from figuring it out and going back out the fifth inning, but, you know, obviously wish I could have done that in the second inning.
When you worked from the stretch, when you got the men on base, Matt, and you got in a little bit of trouble, you started going to your breaking ball. You got your pitches up. Is that something that you're working on in situations with the breaking ball and your changeup with runners in scoring position?
Yeah, obviously, you know, with a runner on first base, you know, I'm trying to get a ground ball or weak contact. You know, definitely for me, you know, what I've been working on the last couple outings is getting those, you know, off-speed pitches over for a strike when I need to. And, you know, obviously with a runner on base, that's a big time to use it. So, you know, today I really tried to do that, and I know, you know, John Buck and I had talked about it, and, you know, some certain counts where we might not have gone to some certain things, but, you know, obviously still working on things before we head up north.
Matt, how much of a difference is that for you? I mean, it's only your second spring training, you know, and last year you're trying to obviously air it out and show everybody what you got because you're trying to make the team. And, you know, you come in this year, you've had a great spring, but how much has been different in terms of you being able to come out here and actually just, you know, work on your stuff and not necessarily have to, you know, throw a shutout, you know, maybe a little different than last year?
Yeah, well, obviously, in a perfect world, I would do that every time. But,
yeah,
you know, definitely, you know, working on things, throwing the curveball, trying to get that going. You know, change-ups in certain counts, maybe back behind in the zone, because that's all stuff that, you know, through a 200-plus inning season that I'm hoping to have, you know, those are pitches that I'm going to need to have. So.
Well, Matt, it's been a great spring for you. Glad everything felt good today. Thanks for jumping on the headset.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
That was a quick one. Scott Atchison made quick work of the Tigers. Palm trees rustling in the wind. It's been windy. It's been warm. It's been Nice day in Florida. Mets playing a split squad. See the other score in Jupiter. Mets came back in that one. Offense has come to life. They were trailing for most of the day. Zach Lutz has a homer there. Travis d'Arnaud has an RBI in that game. In this game, it's 9-2 Tigers. They got 5 runs in the 7th off of Brandon Lyon. Now, there were a couple of unlucky things that happened that inning. They got a hard double under the glove of Hicks at third. Shot. The wind kept pushing back in center, and Decker racing back, turning around a couple times, got hurt, landed awkwardly, had to leave the game. We hope he's okay. But then Lyon just got hit hard, really for the first time all spring. But Scott Atchison came in, Keith, and really did a good job. An inning and 2/3, and he mowed the Tigers down in a blink.
Well, he came in with runners on first and third, too, and got the 2 outs. Didn't let a run in. He's pitched well. I have a feeling that he's going to move up in the food chain in that bullpen. Kind of like him in the back of that bullpen, maybe the setup man for the closer, Bobby Parnell.
Tigers giving chase, but that's going to fall harmlessly foul.
Good hustle, boy.
It's good to hear from Matt Harvey, although we didn't have him for long because Atchison mowed down the Tigers in the top of the 8th. Even though it was a short interview, he just kind of seems comfortable for where he is right now. Did you like how he said the 200 innings that I'm expecting to?
Of course I do.
Expecting to deliver. I mean, he's a confident young man. Turner's got himself another base hit. Justin Turner's got 3 hits today, and he's 3 for 3.
Well, I don't know what Barry was doing in right field, playing so shallow with that wind blowing a gale out to right. But Turner gets himself a second base hit. Third, excuse me. Nice day.
A couple of doubles, too. That'll bring up Danny Muno for the Mets. Again, a lot of the minor leaguers getting in the games today. Mets took him in the 8th round of 2011 out of Fresno State in California. That first year of pro ball in Brooklyn, he had 355. He takes inside ball 1. Last year was in St. Lucie right here, batted .280 with a .387 on base percentage. 19 stolen bases for Muno. Excuse me, Muno. And that was a big draw from him out of Fresno State. He had that terrific eye, that patience at the top of the order. Middle infielder. And he takes strike 2.
Fresno State has a good baseball program. Dick Ruthven came out of Fresno State, I believe, and Mr. Met Tom Seaver was born and raised, I believe, in Fresno. Old Tommy.
Fouls off the breaking ball. One and 2 to Muno. Line drive to center. Jackson is right there. So the former New York Penn League batting title winner is retired. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That'll bring up Corey Vaughn. Another former Brooklyn Cyclone great that we've had on our air on SOI a bunch of times. Corey Vaughn has some big time power, just like his father Greg, who played, of course, in the major leagues. Corey had 23 home runs in St. Lucie last year, and he's got himself a base hit here. It'll be an RBI single for Corey Vaughn. Justin Turner comes in to score. That's a good moment for Vaughn, who gets the Mets another run. It's 9-3 Detroit.
Nice swing here. Bell-tie fastball away. Look at that. That's a nice swing. Greg Vaughn's son, of course, former Padre. And I like his stroke. Saw a little bit of him last spring. That's big hopes for him.
25 doubles, 23 home runs last year. You know, he's talking about homegrown outfielders. We've seen Neuenhuis and Den Decker this spring, but this is another guy that may not be too far away. He's slated to start the season in Double-A Binghamton. All-around athlete from San Diego State, where he played under Tony Gwynn. That'll work. It's Landon Powell, the switch hitting catcher, is the batter now. And Vaughn is, an interesting story. He's a diabetic. He plays with a pump. Certainly not the first player to do so, but does not let that hinder him one bit. Well, we told you Matt Den Decker got hurt before, and the wind blew a ball over his head. He got twisted around, leapt to try and make an outstanding catch, came down awkwardly. Mets tell us, as we take a look at the play, that he's got a bruised right wrist, and they're going to go to the hospital for x-rays. You see he got turned around and then just came down real hard on that glove hand. The wind just kept blowing that back as Den Decker came out of the game immediately on that. So he'll go for x-rays as a precaution. Meanwhile, Landon Powell takes that pitch. It's 3-2 to Powell with one down in the home eighth. 9-3 Tigers. Tigers getting 5 of their runs off Brandon Lyon in the 7th. Harvey got the start. 5 innings for Harvey today. 3 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, 88 pitches, 51 strikes for Harvey, who gets set for his first full season in Major League Baseball. Three and 2 to Powell, and he's got himself a base hit. Vaughn will stop at second. Mets putting together some offense here in the 8th.
Off the end of the bat.
That'll bring up Andrew Brown.
Now batting, number 77, left fielder, Andrew Brown.
Andrew Brown 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts, grounded into a double play so far today. And gets a piece of that, strike 1. Cardinals 18th round pick in 07 out of Nebraska from Carrollton, Texas. Vaughn, pretty good speed off of first. Landon Powell, not a good runner. Excuse me, Vaughn off second, Powell off of first. Fastball ground behind that. He's in a 1-2 hole.
Got beat upstairs there, the fastball.
on strikes.
Well, 2-2 pitch here. He runs a little cutter down out of the strike zone.
Number 84, shortstop Matt Reynolds.
Matt Reynolds is the batter for the Mets as they continue to give the minor leaguers a chance today with the split squad. And Reynolds drills one to left. That's a base hit. Vaughn will score. Gets down all the way to the wall. Powell chugging to third. That's an RBI double for Matt Reynolds. Mets second-round draft pick last year out of Arkansas. So the kid's getting a chance to deliver, and they're doing just that for Terry Collins.
Well, that ball's ripped. First pitch, didn't waste any time, then kicked. I think the runner didn't score, no error on that. It'll be a double. Nicely done. When you're in a minor leaguer and you get a chance, a big league game, you remember that hit.
Matt Reynolds and Corey Vaughn helping in the rally. Tigers will go to the pen. They're up 9-4 on the Mets.
We're here.
Oh,
We're going to the park.
Six-year-old Luis Marte on to pitch for the Tigers, trying to get the final out of the eighth. The Mets have got a little rally going with the minor leaguers getting to play. Corey Vaughn, Greg Reynolds, second rounder last year, and then Powell had a hit in that mix, and now down 9-4 with runners on second and third. They bring in the 26-year-old, signed to the Dominican Republic back in 2005 by the Tigers. See Powell on third. There's Greg Reynolds, shortstop slash third baseman out of Arkansas. Played his ball in single A Savannah last year. And now it's Brandon Hicks with a good opportunity. Hicks 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts, and a fly out to right field. Got a chance to draw the Mets within 3 with a base hit.
So 7 years in the minor leagues for this Marte. It's a long time to be plodding away, boy. Good slider.
Hicks with the offering there. Mets, by the way, are facing the Braves tomorrow in Disney World. Dylan G will get the start. They stopped the Braves-Nats game in Vieira a little while ago because the wind was so bad. Now, my guess is this bend of Vieira, it's like a dust bowl up there. I'm guessing maybe it was just wicked. And another slider that Hicks is swing and miss. It's 0-2. You ever had a game called because of wind?
No. And I played some windy ones at Candlestick, but there was tornadoes in the area, evidently.
Or there was a 5 o'clock dinner reservation, one or the other. Maybe a combo of both. 0-2 to Hicks. Just got a piece. So the Mets are at Atlanta tomorrow. Then they've got the Cardinals and the Astros here Tuesday and Wednesday.
And that's it for our broadcasting spring schedule. We're done.
That's right. Getting set for opening day. Again, it's an 0-2. And Hicks down on strikes for the third time today. Marte comes in and does the job, gets the strikeout. Mets put 2 on the board, though. Still trail at 9-4. We go to the 9th at Tradition Field. 9-4 Tigers lead the Mets, seeing some contributions from some of the youngsters, and this should be fun. One of the real up-and-coming guys in the Mets system, on Twitter known as the Leather Rocket, Jack Leathersich.
And you can see the strikeouts, folks. And the walks aren't bad, but the strikeouts are eye-opening in 72 innings pitched. 113. They like his arm. Obviously, if he has that many strikeouts, he's got to be a flamethrower. I have not seen this man pitch, but he's a minor leaguer getting called up here to pitch in this game. That's for a reason. You don't just call up minor leaguers to fill spots in spring training games. They're going to call up the kids that they want the coaching staff to take a look at.
His 2 years as a pro in the Mets minor league system, his strikeouts per 9 innings is 14.8. Which is pretty insane. Now that's at Brooklyn, and last year he spent time at Savannah and then got bumped up to St. Lucie right here in A-ball.
Youngster,
22 years old, 5th round pick out of UMass back in 2011. So here's a chance on the big stage, and he starts upstairs for ball 1.
So he's got to have a little nerves.
Gets Kelly to pop up to left, and there's one down.
Your attention, please. Pitching for the Tigers, number 65.
The thing about this, according to Baseball America, you think lefty, which I'm sure he's tough on lefty, but because of the way he kind of comes across his body with that motion. 205 at bats against righties last year, and Leathersich struck out 83. They hit 162 against him. Well, this is not a one-trick pony. Brad Davis is the DH now for Victor Martinez, his first at bat, and takes upstairs for ball 2. And it's 3-0 to Davis. All fastballs so far to Davis. There's a strike. And it's 3-2. Told you about that win game in Vieira. I'm looking on Twitter, Keith. Mark Bowman, who's the Braves beat guy for MLB.com. Chris Medlin started that game, and his quote after the game on the wind. Now it's strong here today, up to almost 30-mile-an-hour gusts. Maybe it's a little even stronger there. He said, you go up the middle of your delivery, and the first thing in the back of your head is, am I going to fall over? So it must be pretty gusty about an hour or so north of us in Vieira. You see the trees now. And Leathersich loses Davis. So after retiring Don Kelly on the pop-up, he walks Davis. And that'll bring up Matt Tuiasosopo.
Now batting number 68, left fielder Matt Tuiasosopo.
Tuiasosopo's had a monster spring. Former Buffalo Bison with the Mets last year. Had a good year for the Mets. They let him go, and Tigers picked him up, and he's got some power, that's for sure. A double his first time up. And Leathersich misses away. It's 1-0. A lot of spring training. This guy's kind of hanging out in the outfield. Oh, there he's back to running. Just kidding. Of course, guys always get their workout there, get the running on the track. When they're done,
there's always one coach that's watching. Make sure you're doing your work and putting an effort into it. Because don't think they're not watching. They make evaluations of young players, what their work ethic is, and now they've got conditioning coaches that will oversee. And Leathersich is having a hard time throwing strikes here. A little nervous. There's your conditioning coach.
and Leathersich, after retiring the first batter, has got back-to-back walks now. Maybe a little bit of nerves. The 22-year-old getting a chance to play on the big field in front of Terry Collins. Keith Bonus, pitching coach, bullpen coach normally for this team, but with the split squad, Dan Worthen went to Jupiter. As we welcome you to Port St. Lucie, Florida, on a very windy, very warm day. Along with Keith Hernandez, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Glad to have you along as the Tigers lead the Mets 9-4. We play in the 9th inning.
Where the heck they've been if you're welcoming them? It's the 9th inning. Where they been?
No idea. Sleep on their couch?
I know one thing. We've been here.
Barely at times. Hit to left, and that's a base hit. Santiago's got a single, and the Tigers have loaded him up. Well, you're just saying hello. You know, some folks tune in and they don't know what's going on and who's here, what's what. So
can we tell them they haven't missed much?
Well, I think you just did. Matt Harvey got the start for the Mets as Jeff Walters warming in the pen. Harvey got the start. 5 innings, 3 earned runs, struck out 5, walked 3. Harvey a little shade off on his control for him today, but struck out the side in the first. Looks like he's ready to go for the spring, for the season opener. So Leathersich trying to get it together, facing Brian Pena, the catcher, and there's a strike. Bases loaded for the Tigers after The lefty came on to retire the first batter. Pena 0 for 1, popped up to shortstop. It is only a bat in the game.
Oh boy, it's falling apart for this young man. Take a chance, throw it down the middle, see if you can get double play. We've had 5 today, thank goodness.
They have been in abundance. Leathersitch would love one now, and he's having trouble. Now 3-1 to Brian Pena. Bases loaded for Detroit in the 9th, and Pena had a good cut on that one, but it's 3-2. Keith, if you're looking for the rally, the Mets will have 9-1-2 up in the bottom of the 9th inning. Lonzo Harris will lead it off for keeping score at home.
Well, let's tell him. 13 Tiger hits, 9 runs, no errors.
Pena popped up. Hicks will give it a look and make the grab for the second out. So Leathersitch recovers.
Boy, one more out. He can get out of this without a run. Mets at 9 hits, 2 errors, 4 runs. We're slowly pulling into the stretch run.
Mets have their RBIs on Ike Davis with a single in the 3rd. And then the youngsters, Corey Vaughn, RBI single in the 8th. And they also got an RBI from Matt Reynolds, second round draft pick last year. Other run scored on a wild pitch. Tigers got the bulk of their runs against Brandon Lyon with a 5-run 7th inning against Lyon. Fortunately, that was a Matt Decker got hurt on trying to make an acrobatic catch backpedaling. Came down hard, right wrist sprain. Mets taking him to the hospital for evaluation, and Leathersitch gets ahead of Infante. Quickly 0-2. I'm sorry, I said wrist sprain, bruised right wrist. But the x-rays of the hospital will tell a little bit more. Oh, and 2 to Infante, and he hits a rocket right at the shortstop Muno, and he makes the catch. Actually, that was Reynolds making the catch. Either way, catch is made, inning over. So Leathersitch with a nice recovery after loading the bases. Last chance for the Mets. Bottom of the 9th we go.
When it comes to weather,
Baseball is brought to you by the Jeep Showcase event. Come see what's new and get a great deal on new Jeep brand vehicles. By Time Warner Cable, switch to Time Warner Cable and enjoy better. And by the Lexus Command Performance Sales event now through March 31st.
Okay.
Ninth inning.
Yes.
Bottom of the ninth. Tigers 9, Mets 4. On this spring training Sunday. Mets last chance, number 9 on the order. Alonzo Harris leads it off, this center fielder for the Mets. And he swings to the first pitch, and it's carrying to right with that stiff wind. Very backpedaling back there, makes the catch. So any pop-up out there is dangerous today. But one pitch, one away in the ninth as Marte retires Harris. And that'll bring up Kirk Neuenhuis, who's 0 for 2. A couple of walks today in his first full spring game since coming back from that bone bruise in his left knee. Neuenhuis trying to get a little momentum going for the spring session ends. He's 1 for 21 this spring, but of course missed a couple of weeks with that bone bruise, sliding into second base in Jupiter. Someone's knocking on the door, Keith. I think it's for you.
Have a good season. Good health, okay? Tom, I know Tara. I know Tara very well.
Neuenhuis hits one deep to right field. 2 down. I thought that was going farther than it did.
1 out away. Get this game done by 4:15.
It goes on at 4:15. Tidy time of game. Justin Turner, the last hope for the Mets. 2 down, bases empty in the ninth. And he takes strike 1 from Marte. Turner's had a good day. 3 hits, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored. Berry makes the catch. Ball game over. So the Tigers come to Port St. Lucie and knock off the Mets 9-4 in the split squad game this afternoon. Jim Leland's club as he waves hello to his good buddy Terry Collins.
Well, one of the only bright spots today for the Mets would have been Turner's 3 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored. Nice day for Justin. Not a terrific outing for Matt Harvey. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs. 3 earned, 3 walks, not good, 5 strikeouts.
Game summary brought to you by your Tri-State BMW Center. See, Harvey got the start. Pfister was a little erratic in his start, but he gets the win. Turner, the offensive start, 3 for 4, 2 doubles. Ike Davis with an RBI as well. Next game on SNY, Mets Cardinals Tuesday at 1. For our entire SNY crew, for my partner Keith Hernandez, I'm Kevin Burkhardt saying so long. Have a great rest of your weekend, everyone. We'll see you Tuesday afternoon. See ya.
The following is a